Hey guys, we are starting corn silage today. We're just rolling out down the road. I'll take this for the first load because the helper, or Rick, is going to be driving this today, I'm pretty sure. So he's not here yet, so I'm going to take her to get the first load. Alright, change of plan guys. I'm going to be in the Magnum for a little bit because I got the correct hitch for this wagon. And the 235 does not. We had to put one on it. Basically, I could not put the Magnum on that wagon. That was the only wagon left, so we had to switch them around. So I'm going to take this down to the field, get chopped. I don't have a radio in here, so I can't hear what they're saying or where they're at. So this will be interesting. Feels good to be that time of year again. There's the chopper, there's the guy and his gator that we bought this corn from. He's actually our neighbor, so yeah. I have no idea where he wants me because I have no radio, no communication with the chopper, so I guess we'll see. This corn is definitely not the best corn around, but considering the year we had and wet in the spring, it's not too bad. But there's definitely better that we're going to be chopping, so like I was saying, this is not very good corn here, but we'll take it.
Morning everybody. Chopping corn silage. What we're doing, we're buying corn silage from the neighbors because ours isn't gonna yield like it normally does, and we do not want to be short of feed in the spring. So we don't have a scale. We don't have a scale here on our farm. So we are gonna weigh a couple loads, run them through our TMR mixer, which is what Steve is doing over here. This is the load Jaron just brought in. So for example, this first farm's got 25 acres. We're gonna weigh a couple loads right away and a couple loads when we get close to get done. And we're just gonna count the loads and get close. It should average out pretty good. But what we're doing here is weighing. We'll run this whole box that Jaron brought in through the mixer. It'll probably take like two mixer loads to figure out exactly what it weighs. And then equate it back to 65% moisture. We're taking a sample on every load, and then we'll mix that all up, take a couple samples, figure out exactly how wet it was, because you don't want to buy water and they don't want to sell. You just want to make it fair for each of you, so that you're buying actual silage, not water, buying the dry matter. See how much we can get in this mixer. 66, 86, 66 about, that was 3,400. 66, no. 2,400 only. It's not packed. Like when we're feeding a bucket of corn, big bucket of corn silage is more like 5,000 pounds. This is actually pretty light. So it's at 9,050 right now. Dumping it in there. $2,800. Surprised how light that is compared to like when you're feeding, how much you get in the bucket. Huge difference. Maybe that means there's not as much corn in it too, I don't know, but probably has a lot to do with it was packed already together. It's kind of, even when you're feeding, it's still more dense than it is when it's fluffy coming in. getting pretty full. We got 17,400 in there right now. Probably one more big bucket. Should be up to about almost 20,000 right now. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna go empty the mixer. Just gonna dump it over here by this load. And then Steve can refill it. So we're getting her all in here. The first mixer load weighed 24,700 pounds. Looks like the second one's gonna be about 15,000 at the most. It's gonna be like 20 ton on there. I don't think it'll be 15. No, it'll be more like 12, 10 to 12. So that'd be like 17 ton on it. Just still respectable. Alright, so we're at 95.70. Now we're going to be more than 17 ton. Alright, so here we got the numbers. It is 10,790 here. So 10,790 and 24 be about 35,490 pounds. 35,490, so be almost 18 ton on that load. So Caesar and Steve doing the second load here. Be interesting to see how close it came to the first load. We've never really done this before.
So we're splitting the field here, so when we get to the end we can just come up one side and back down. Works real smooth. Just goes right over the top of me.
Trying to figure out why we have all these cobs laying all over the ground. And they're just starting chopping corn for this year, so it's trying to get it figured out. Because that's a lot of money laying on the ground. What do you think, Clint?
All I know is you don't want to be losing corn, because that's a big part of the corn silage.
That's right. And we need corn. And the silage to make milk, right?
Oh, definitely.
You can't be feeding all fodder. What do you think, Carson?
He said I can't speed my knives up because I can only spin my drum up, like I said. He said just try going a lower ground speed. and it's messing with my head because I can, like I said, I can adjust the drum speed, but I can't adjust the knife speed.
Okay.
That's just one set.
And it's what it looks like is happening is these ears are sitting up on top and they're flinging around, and then a stalk comes along and wipes them all off and throws them on the ground. So just trying to get it figured out.
So I'm taking samples here of every load that comes in off the corn that we're buying. Just grab some, put it in a black bag, and we'll collect it. And then that way we have record the corn, every load came off. We'll test the moisture and everything on it. So that's basically what I'm doing standing out here. So we got my buddy Nate in the Zimmy 230. We got Dad in the Steiger over there. 3 trackers on a tiny pile. That's something you usually don't see, but we're just getting it really tight. That is the last load of the night, but that is the fullest load of the day. That is for sure.
Oh my, yeah, we got it for sure.
Wow.
Rick, if you can, back it up into the south corner over there.
You ain't getting none more on there. There's the last load getting pushed up. But this is only the corn that we bought, so there's a lot more that will be in here on the pile. Rain a little bit, it's getting slippery out on the pile, but it ain't stopping us.
Hey guys, so this is what the pile looks like here. Job well done. Everybody helped to cover. Steve and Caesar and Teo, Jaron, me,
Nate.
and Nate. So we got all the tires on. We're done chopping for now. So this corn we actually bought from a couple of different people because our corn doesn't look the best and we didn't get it all planted because we normally plant like 600 acres for silage. We planted 550. And in my opinion, it's more like 500 in an average year because we've been feeding like 600 acres of good corn silage. Well, I wouldn't call it as good as the last few years. So I felt we actually had about 500 acres of good corn silage planted if you average it out. So we ended up buying 125 acres from 2 different people, and there it is, it's on the pile. So we are not going to put our BMR on top of that, so we're going to try to keep it separate because BMR corn silage is brown midrib, and it's more digestible. The stock's more digestible. Everything about it's more digestible. So you got to know what you're dealing with, and you got to know what's actually in the ration when you're feeding the cows, because you can really mess them up if you're saying you don't have BMR silage in your ration and you're feeding BMR silage. So if you think you're feeding all this, so that's why we just covered it separate. We'll get our own in, probably feed our own, and then we planted 80 acres of triticale this week, really thick, and the plan would be to chop that in the spring and feed that triticale when we're feeding this corn silage. It should feed really good together because trit's really digestible. And this corn silage is not as digestible, so. Anyhow, now what, Jaron?
I don't know.
Oh yeah, we got our corn silage samples. So, we took a sample from every load that came in. We weighed several of them. Well, we got them in breeder's sleeves here, but now we got to go through and do the math on the loads and the weight and send these samples in and see what the moisture is and just see how good a silage it is and what we're dealing with. But it'll be good stuff. It looked good in the field from both places. So anyhow, anything else?
No.
No. We'll be chopping probably in 10 days. So, hey guys, just a little update on what's going on with crops we got planted. We did a video about planting forage sorghum, and we are in it right now. So it's just about as tall as Abigail. It's BMR forage sorghum, and just wanted to show you how it's doing. And it'll probably be November before we chop this. But yeah, I don't know what that is. Why there's a tall one once in a while.
There's a really
But
tall one right there.
yeah, there's tall ones around.
There.
Yeah, here and there. But I see a couple of them are starting to put heads out. Someplace, where was that? I just saw a head. Here. So one right here. Hold it. If you look at this head's starting to pop out of here. It's like a, and you can pull it out. Tastes pretty sweet. Actually, it tastes pretty good.
The
End of it. I'm gonna find one, pluck it out. But after buying that corn silage, I don't know if we need to do that because this stuff is really growing. It's up to about almost my sternum. And, oh, it's over.
It's like 4 heads in a row.
What's that? Yeah, it's starting to head out.
A bunch of them. 1, 2.
So this stuff is supposed to get 5 to 6 feet tall. But on the bottom, I don't know if you can see down here, but it's really tillers. So it's really thick. That's where the tonnage is coming from. And it just keeps getting like massive, more massive underneath. So maybe it's going to be a question of where are we going to put this feed. But that's good. Back in 2014, we planted forage sorghum, and it really fed good. Like our cows average like 4.6, 4.8 butter fat. For Holsteins, that's really good. And like a 3.4, 3.5 protein. Milk was down a little bit, but they were really, really healthy and good components, and that's what we're getting paid on anyhow. So, but yeah, so we got about 250 acres of this. Abigail's got to get chopped here. We got 250 acres to chop eventually, but that's what it's doing.